Okay, so today we are going to be creating our own custom colors of paint, and we're going to have a lot of fun creating our own new paints. We're going to learn about a really big word called tertiary, and that's when you mix the main colors. So that's when you have like a red and blue, and you could have a violet, or you can have red and violet together and have a red violet. So it's just colors that are not next to each other, but like one space away, and then when you mix them, you can create your own. I'm also gonna have white for tints on there so that you can kind of lighten it if you need to, okay? So we're gonna be doing this color mixing today. And then our I can statement for today says, today I will learn about color so that I can use primary colors to mix my own custom colors. So we're just having fun with paint today, really. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get a piece of paper. You're gonna write your name and code, so 3 on the bottom, and then we're gonna fold it up. So you want 8 sections in here. So to get the 8 sections, what I did was I took the short end here and I folded it all the way to the top. So I matched these 2 sides or little pieces together and then make a nice fold, okay? So it looks like a little booklet right now. Then I'm gonna leave it like this, and I'm gonna take this folded line here and go all the way to that top here and make a crease, okay? So then when I open it up, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. And then to make that 8, we're gonna turn our paper horizontal and then take the long end this time and go all the way to the top and make a crease. If it's not perfect, this is fine. We just want you to have 8 sections to do your color mixing, which these will become the future birds in your caribou's antlers, okay? So we're just painting them. We're not trying to paint birds. We're just kind of practicing and playing with color. So just a reminder, this year we're gonna get a paper towel on our little tray where I'm gonna have your paints poured. I'll have your primaries and a white. You're also going to get a little cup of water, your little dog bowls. And remember, the sponge is for drying things off. You get 1 of these per table, so you're gonna all share, and then you'll get 2 of these, so 2 people per palette, okay? And then now we're gonna do some custom colors. So when I wanna make tertiary colors, I'm gonna use primaries and secondary colors together. I think that works great. But to get the secondaries, we have to start with mixing our primaries. So make sure you have a clean, dry brush. And I'm gonna do a little bit of green. So I'm gonna take scoop a little bit of white here. And remember, green, excuse me, yellow is a really weak color, so you need more yellow than you would blue to make a nice green. And once you have it mixed, and notice I'm just mixing into a little space. I'm not mixing over the whole paper towel. So I'm gonna mix my color. I like that. So I'm just gonna paint basically right to that fold up here. Then I just go back in here. Notice I did not go to the water. I'm just going right back here to the paint. And that's a perfect amount for this space. Okay, so I've got my first one. So now I have my secondary color that I mixed my blue and my yellow with to create that. So I'm gonna move on to this next section here. So I'm gonna use that same kind of green color, and then I'm gonna mix some more blue. So it's more like a blue-green now. And remember, blue is a very dominant color, so it's gonna take over, but I like this shade of blue. Now, I'm gonna paint this with this blue shade, which is almost like a teal color. And then I'm gonna add white to it as my second color to see how this changes. So this is a perfect tertiary color. So I take my primary color blue, my secondary color green, and then I get this nice shade here. Now, I'm kind of running out of my color. So let me show you a little trick. When you get it mostly colored in, and then you have a few white spaces, what you can do is you can take the white on your paintbrush and just quickly dip it in the water. And then if you go over that, it will extend that color, okay? Can go in here one more time, really quick dip. I'm not rinsing out my brush, just a quick dip so that it spreads that color over there, okay? Now, I'm gonna use the same color here And that one's almost out, so I may have to kind of mix it again. So a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue. And if I do equal parts, it's gonna be pretty dark like that. And then now I'm gonna go into the white. Now white is a tint. So tints are pretty weak, so they're not gonna change the color dramatically, but change it enough that it looks interesting. And if you like that, you can use it. I'm gonna use a little more white, so I'm just gonna grab a little more white from the side and mix that in here. And then this is the same color essentially, except I added white to it. So you can see it just slightly changed the color. And if you had white with a little bit of the color in it, just adding very little bit of color, it's gonna be even more pastel. I'm gonna get that painted in there. So I've already experienced with these 3 colors, and all I used was blues and yellows and whites so far, okay? So this one had yellow mostly with a teeny bit of blue. This one had that blue and that green color with a little more blue, which makes a tertiary color. So that's when you make a primary and a secondary. And then this one was that same color, I just added white. So I'm gonna do a color change and use my reds next. So I'm gonna go into this water bowl. Notice I'm just swirling my brush around, I'm not splashing. If you need to use the edge to kind of wipe that off, you can. And then you're gonna use, remember, the little sponge to kind of dry off. Not jabbing, but just kind of drying off your brush, okay? So now I can mix the color here. So this one, maybe I'm gonna make it a violet. So I'm gonna take my red, blue, mix it up. Now if I have more red than blue, it's gonna be more raspberry. If I want a little more blue, just scoop off a little more. I like to do a little bit at a time so that I like my color. Now that's a really nice shade of violet. Notice I'm just turning my paper around. You can move the paper around wherever you love. I love this color. Wherever you are more comfortable with it. And if you're not exactly on the edge, or if you find that you went a little bit over, it's really no big deal. I just want you to make sure you mostly get the paint covering this space up. And I ran out of paint again, my goodness. So remember, a quick dip of water, and that just extends the life, okay? Makes it work. A little bit more water. So I'm not washing off my brush, just enough water that my color can mix, okay? Then I can take that color, if I want to lighten it, sorry, kind of do this so you can see it. I'm gonna use a little bit more white, and you get this nice color in here, okay? Then I can paint that here. So you can do whatever you want. Remember, this is your paper. If you're not into the violets, don't do the violets, okay? So you can mix whatever colors you want, and I ran out of that pretty fast. So red, a little bit of blue, oops, a little more red, a little more red. Okay, white to lighten it. Okay, notice I'm just working in that little area here, kind of moving my brush around. And it's not exact, but I still like the color. And I want to go around there. So you're going to do this to all 8 sections. I'm not going to finish this right now, so you guys can go back to your seat and you guys can get working, and you don't have to wait around for me. So you're going to collect one of these trays for you, one for your partner and you, so 2 per table of these. You're going to collect one of these water cups and the sponge for your table. So you're all going to share this, and then 2 people are going to share that one. Get your own brush or 2, and then you'll start creating your custom colors. And remember, you're just going to have some fun playing with colors. And that really big word, tertiary, I know it's the first time we've heard this word. So that's just when you take your primary and secondary and you mix them together. Okay, so that's when I had like the red, and then I had that blue and red mixture, then I had the violet, and I mix them together, and I have a red violet or a blue violet, depending on if you have more red or add more blue to it. So you're just gonna do all color mixing. If you do wanna add tints, which is the white, you can totally do that as well, okay?